Welcome to Week 10 Bible Studies for Life. Today we're continuing in Matthew chapter 24. Excited about this passage. It's been tough. The last 2 weeks have been tough, right? And the difficulties and the challenges and the horrific things that are going to happen. And today we get some of the good stuff that comes. So we're excited about this, right? It's going to be a good week. And before we dive in, be sure and like, subscribe to our channel. Be sure and comment and share it with others. We appreciate that. If you've got questions, ask them in the comments. I'll do my best to try to answer those as best I can. All right, let's look here. He says, if anyone tells you then, see, here is the Messiah, or over here, do not believe it. For false messiahs and false prophets will arise and perform great signs and wonders to lead astray, if possible, even the elect. Take note, I've told you in advance. Okay, the Lord has said this earlier in chapter 24, and he's reiterating this again because we're about to get to a big conclusion here. But to say, look, people are going to say, they're going to claim to be the Messiah, and others are going to say, oh, I saw him there, you need to go follow this person. And even, he says, that some people, these false prophets and false messiahs, are going to do great signs and wonders. They're going to perform some acts that make you think this must be God, this must be him. Right, they're going to do some things that are going to entice, and he says even they're so impressive that they would, if possible, they would even lead the elect astray. And that is to say, those who are the followers of Christ might even be led astray by this, if that were possible. And this, I think, in essence, what he's saying here is that when you're saved, you cannot be led astray because the Lord is going to hold on to you. So you're not going to lose this salvation. You're not going to walk away from this salvation if you truly have this salvation. Now, some who are led astray, maybe they're not ones who truly have this salvation. That is not for me to question, but it is for you to ask your own life. Okay, if I've walked away, was I ever really, if I'm no longer with them, was I ever really with them to begin with? Okay? So he says, listen, take note, just jot this one down. I've told you this in advance. I've already told you this is going to happen. Right? Here's your warning. He's given a warning. Don't follow these false prophets, these false messiahs, these people that make all these claims, these people that do all these great tricks that pretend to be miracles and have signs and wonders. Don't fall for that. You know, you need to take note that I am the Lord and they're not, okay? So if they tell you, see, he's in the wilderness, don't go out there. Or see, he's in the storerooms, do not believe it. Okay? If they tell you, oh, he's over there, oh, he's over here, don't believe it. He came back already, here he is, don't believe it. Look, for as the lightning comes from the east and flashes as far as the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. Wherever the carcass is, there the vultures will gather. That is to say, people are going to know. When the Son of Man returns, when Jesus returns, you're going to know. Nobody's going to have to come tell you, hey, he came back. You're going to know. It's going to be obvious, okay? The world is going to know. All at once, the world is going to know. You see this. Immediately after the stress of those days, okay, that's going back to earlier in chapter 24 when he talks about the wars, and then he talks about the great distress, the distress greater than anyone has ever had ever before, that will never be seen again. When that comes, the worst that's ever been known, immediately after those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not shed its light, and the stars will fall from the sky, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. That is to say, the heavenly bodies are going to be alerted. They're going to be the flashing light, or maybe not a flashing light, maybe the gone out light, right? That the heavens are going to respond to the coming of the Lord to redeem his creation, just like the people are going to respond to this. Okay, the creation is going to respond and acknowledge the return of Christ. And I don't think what we're looking at here is something that happens over a series of days or weeks. I think we're looking at things that happen that coincide with one another. Okay, they're happening all together. Because he says, then the Son of Man will appear in the sky, and then all the peoples of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send out his angels with a loud trumpet, and they will gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of the sky to the other. Gets this? Let's go back. Immediately after the distress, the sun's dark, the moon doesn't have its light because the moon is just reflecting the sun. The stars fall from the sky, the powers of the heavens will be shaken, everything in heaven will shake, and then the Son of Man appears in the sky. Jesus appears in the sky, and look what happens. Everybody on earth mourns. What are they mourning for? Because they weren't followers, because they weren't believers. They had rejected, and they thought they were right. They were wrong, right? And everyone, all the peoples of the earth, they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. You see, he goes back here and he says, look, if they tell you he's in the wilderness, you don't go out there. If they tell you he's in the storeroom, you don't go out there. If they say, hey, he's the Messiah, he's over here, all that, no, because you see, when Jesus comes back, everybody knows. Nobody's going to have to tell you. You're not going to have to watch the news to find out that Jesus just came back. You're not going to do that because everybody's going to know. I mean, the sky itself, the sun and the moon, the stars, the heavens are going to declare the Lord is returning. The King is coming back to claim his creation, to redeem it. He's coming back to complete this work that he's been doing. You have been destroying it. Man has been tearing it apart, and the Lord is coming back to set it right. And everybody's going to know it. He comes back with power and great glory. He doesn't come back with a whimper. He doesn't sneak his way back in. It's such a different way than Jesus came the first time, right? The first time he comes in quietly, the baby born and laid there in the stable, laid down in a manger, and there's the angels appear to shepherds, but not to the whole world, just to these shepherds in the field. The angels appear, and these wise men from the east come. They see the star, they follow, but there's no great fanfare. Hey, when next time he comes, everybody's going to know. There's not going to be any doubt, and those who have rejected him, they're going to know, and they're going to mourn because it's going to be obvious they were wrong. Right? They're going to miss it. And he sends out his angels with the loud trumpet, and they gather his elect, that is the saved, from the four winds, from one end of the sky to the other. This is this bringing up those who have followed him, those who are believers. They will be brought up. We will meet him together in the air. Here he comes, right? In power, great glory. All of these things that have happened, as we go back in the previous verses and we see this mayhem, we see the horrific things, we see the tearing apart of the earth, it seems like, right? And the world is falling apart. And in those moments when we might be tempted to think the world is coming to an end and God has lost control, he has lost his sovereignty, remember that there's still those little nuggets that let us know the Lord is still in control of this. And in the middle of all that, we may question and we may wonder, but at the end of it, it becomes clear. The Lord is in control, and he is the one who declares that it has come to an end. He's the one who ends it. It doesn't just kind of naturally happen. The Lord brings it to a conclusion when he returns, and you see that the whole world sees this return. The whole world is aware of it. Those who are saved and those who are not saved are aware of the return of Christ. And what that means, it seems like almost immediately, those who have rejected Christ are aware of what that means when he returns. Right? And he gathers up his elect from the four winds. This bringing of people from all over the world who are followers. He brings all of them together. What had been complete mayhem has turned into complete joy, peace. What looked like it was horror that would never end has turned into joy that will never end, has turned into satisfaction, has turned into peace, has turned into contentment that never comes to an end. Well, I hope that's helped. Great passage as we study, and there's more to go, right? We've still got more. We'll be in chapter 24 and then chapter 25. So there's still more to see, but I hope that's helped as you study and you see this passage. A couple of questions here you might want to ask your class. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure and share this with others. Like, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. comment, ask your questions, those kinds of things, what God's doing, what He's teaching you as you go through this. We appreciate your watching very much, and we'll see you next time.